What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Jammin with J Money. We back. It's Monday. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. We mourning the loss of Kobe Bryant from yesterday. Man, he went down the helicopter crash. Him and his daughter as well. Can't forget that. That's you know what I'm saying. It's a sad day, man. But you know what I'm saying. We got to keep on. Got to keep living. Obviously, glad to still be here. But that's pretty sad, man. Mamba mentality. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he pushed everybody to be greater and whatever you did. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like the Lakers or not, just as a basketball fan, you know what I'm saying? It had to at least touch you. What's up, Junior? You turned into Kobe today. You going Mamba mentality on them today? What's up, Junior?
Yeah, bro. I mean, listen, I can't stand the Lakers. I'll just be clear about that. But I grew up watching Kobe, bro. Kobe joined the NBA when I was in high school, and back then that was, it was just him and KG. They were the only high school players in the NBA. And what most people don't realize is that 95% of those dudes that came straight out of high school were garbage and really didn't amount to much. And Kobe turned into one of the best players to ever play basketball. Whether you love Kobe or you can't stand Kobe, you're not going to argue that he's one of the best to ever do it. His 13-year-old daughter died, man. 7 other people, nine people in total. It's just, man, just hug your family, man. Just hug your family, and tell them you love them. You don't know how long.
Yeah, you could be here. You could be here one day and go on the next, man. I've lost a couple of people already this year, so you never know when the last time you'll be in seeing somebody. You know what I'm saying? Just always try to be positive and try to treat people the way that you want to be treated. What's up? What's up, Jordan? Everything cool with you?
Yeah, guys, ditto those sentiments. Obviously, yesterday was pretty tough when I found out the news that Kobe passed away, as well as his daughter. I was alone with my girls yesterday when it happened, and that's just the type of stuff that hits you really hard as a parent, knowing that that those helpless last few moments of their life, and it just should have went down like that, and it just kind of shakes you to your core. But like you guys said, I mean, if there's anybody in the NBA that could have passed away under these circumstances, that would have told everybody to get up off the floor and keep going, and you got to keep grinding and you got to keep working. I mean, it's Kobe Bryant, so we just got to honor his legacy today and keep moving forward. And like you guys said, keep that Mamba mentality and try to attack the day and just take your time to grieve and be sad, but know that Kobe would have wanted stuff to keep going. And he wouldn't want games to be canceled on his account. He would have wanted us to keep it grinding. So we got to do that today.
Exactly. Yep. Got to keep it going, man. Got to keep it going. I know yesterday was an all right day, you know what I'm saying, as far as me for betting. I know in the NBA, cash with the Nuggets there, depending on what number you got with that under there. I know I posted at 226 and a half. Opened at 228, you know what I'm saying, depending on what number that you got. That one landed right on the 227. The Nuggets get the easy cash in that one. The Raptors get the cash. I almost pissed it away there in the fourth quarter to the Spurs there, but got the cash with the Raptors as well yesterday. The Hawks took care of business. Put up, man, that was like an all-star game, 152 points to 133. Man, they had 101 at the end of the third quarter, bro. That was pretty crazy. Unders are absolutely dead in the NBA these days. The Hawks put up 152 on the Wizards last night with ease, man. The cash with the Hawks. I didn't hop on the Knicks yesterday, but I knew that it was a good spot for them. I knew that they was probably gonna catch the Nets there on that little back-to-back. I knew they was probably gonna catch them, even though the Nets seemed like to play. The Nets and the Knicks end up cashing it. I didn't end up playing it, but was a lean of mine. The Clippers handle up versus the Magic there, or even Kawhi, you know what I'm saying, in the strip club, all that. It doesn't matter. He goes smack them up in Orlando. Now they have a huge game on deck, and the Clippers aren't really the type of team that looks ahead, so they end up getting the cash there. The Grizzlies, it was a close one there in the Suns. Grizzlies almost pitched them away, but they end up getting the cash as well. I was all over the Pelicans yesterday, man. I know the first 2 games it was favorable for the Pelicans. Yesterday and it's crazy because a lot of people jumped off the Pelicans like, okay, well, I'm gonna go with the Celtics. They've been losing with Zion, and then as soon as they hopped off, then that's when they got the win. I knew it was a perfect spot for him. Tatum ended up sitting out yesterday. Browne did come back, but it was a total Pelican spot there. Cashed that one with ease. And then the Blazers last night. I didn't watch this game, but heard that Dame went off for the 50. They beat the Pacers by 10 points there. I did have the under 220 in that game, man. The unders are dead. That's why I've been staying away from these totals, man. It seemed like when I bet overs, it could be a clear over spot, and then they just, for some reason, start missing shots or, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I'm staying away from the totals, man. Sides, didn't lose one yesterday, but the totals, both of them, two unders burned me, one by half. The other one not even close, man. No defense whatsoever. Pacers, you better than it, man, to let the Blazers put up 140. I don't care what circumstances it is. But just real quick, anything you that point out to you yesterday in the NBA, Junior, your Raptors, they almost pissed away versus the Spurs there, but we got the cash.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Raptors are getting on my nerves with it with that nonsense. I hit both my plays yesterday, so I'm good with yesterday. I have no complaints. Hit my plays on Saturday as well. Just looking to keep it up. You know, it's peaks and valleys, so just trying to stay ahead. Keep a head up, keep learning, because these teams, very few teams in this league are consistent. You really got to stay on your toes. You know what I'm saying? And ride whatever waves you see. Like, look at Boston right now. Boston, who just like 10 days ago looked like they were ready to, go on a bit of a run. They're getting their asses kicked all of a sudden by any and everyone. So we'll see what's up.
Yeah, we'll see what's up, man. We'll see what's up. I knew that the Raptors was the right spot in that one. What's up, Jordan? Did you have any action yesterday, or you just took it light? Or you have anything to say about yesterday's NBA slate before we get to it today?
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, yesterday, I'll just recap what I had. I had the Clippers and the Grizzlies right yesterday, so that felt pretty good. I hit the over in the first half of, or I bet the over in the first half of Brooklyn, New York, and then the Kyrie news kind of came down, and that kind of hurt me, and they missed that by 1 point. So that would have made it a really nice day. I almost jumped on New Orleans, but didn't end up doing that. So that was kind of the one that I regretted from yesterday, and I was all set to make a play on the Pacers yesterday before Miles Turner got ruled out, so that kind of saved me from myself in that aspect, because yesterday's games, like you said, were just a little wonky. But I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit more with today's show. But I just kind of want to get you guys' thoughts on real quick. It's we're really close to the All-Star break, and kind of how you get that feeling right before you go on vacation that you kind of just don't care anymore. And now with all this Kobe news, like, are we going to continue to see the overs hit? Because it just seems like some teams are just coasting on defense right now, and that trend might continue with some of these meaningless games of teams that might, are going to look like they're going to end up in the lottery. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, it could definitely
sorry,
translate to that. I'll let you answer that. Like I say, I could care less about totals, man. So what you got, Junior? You can answer that question.
Yeah, I actually just want to touch on something that you had mentioned earlier, because I've been off totals for a while now, and lately I've been hitting them. I actually just try to look at the situation. Like yesterday, I took the Raptors San Antonio under 223 because I kind of figured that the Raptors, obviously, they always bring that defense. But I felt like that game would have a certain amount of intensity. And then, obviously I could not have known that Kobe was going to, pass away, and it made the game really emotional for a lot of these guys. But that, if you just look at if you take that out of the mix, that was a revenge spot for the Raptors. The Raptors pissed away the game against San Antonio in Toronto, which was not that long ago. The DeMar DeRozan connection, obviously, he's friends with basically everybody on that team. I just thought that would be kind of an emotional game for different reasons, but that's why I took the under. And I try to look at those spots where most of the unders or overs, whatever it is that I've taken a lot of unders, is in situations where I think there's going to be playoff-like intensity, which is something Jay mentions a lot. Those kind of games kind of play to the under. And the only other play I had yesterday was Memphis minus 2.5, just because I thought it was a cheap price for Memphis at home against the Suns.
Yeah, honestly, just real quick, what I have to say about it as far as the totals and the defense in today's NBA, I don't think it has anything to do with yesterday. Even before that, these teams are just not. I mean, I wouldn't surprise. I mean, when the Hawks and the Wizards play, I wouldn't be surprised to see a total of 250 out there. I mean, honestly, they cannot set a total high enough for some of these teams, man. So, I mean, that's just my take on it. I think that happened way before yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see, because I know sometimes you can kind of find those sneaky unders. I know beginning of the season, not lately, nowhere near, man. But let's get to this first game. But yeah, the teams, if they're gonna play deep, in my opinion, if you're really serious about the game and really want to win, anybody can score. You have to focus on the other team to stop them from scoring. That's how you make a gap there. That's how you blow teams out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to outscore them in the game, that's not necessarily the way to go. Especially, I mean, that's what regular season teams do. Playoff teams, you see, you know what I'm saying? You'll see them start to clamp down on defense as we get closer to the playoffs, in my opinion. But let's get to the first game of the day. We got the Cavs versus the Pistons here. Pistons, Tony Snell questionable. He could be back here. I know Derrick Rose, he's probable. Reggie Jackson probable in this spot. No real injuries for the Cavaliers over there. Porter Jr. is probable with a knee injury, so be interesting to see. I know some people were DM me asking me about the Cavs. The Cavs plus the 7. I don't have anything on this game, man. I mean I looked at it honestly. So usually I'll be like I can make a case for both sides. This one, I can't make a case for neither side, man. So I guess and in theory, if I couldn't make a case for either side, I would just go with taking the points. But y'all know me, I don't force bets, man. I look right over this game. I don't have to bet it, so I'm not betting it. Free play, I guess I would probably be on the Cavs plus the points. They've lost 7 straight games. Do they even care about winning? But I mean, they are the ones getting points here. The Pistons, I can't say they have more to lose as far as their coaching staff, as far as like the players on their team. You know what I'm saying? The superstars. As if you will, you know what I'm saying? But they off 2 straight losses here. Obviously, just lost to the Nets 2 days ago. Overtime loss at the house. So, I mean, they just lost their past 2 home games. They should want to come out here and smash these Cavs. The Cavs can. I think they could keep it close, but nobody knows, man, if the Cavs really want to win this game. Those are one of the things that you can't really cap if a team really cares. I mean, you can look at their past games, but we know the Cavs just pick and choose the games they want to show up. And, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they won this game straight up. It wouldn't surprise me they see them get smacked by 20 points. Would surprise me a bit. What you got, Junior? Any quick looks on this game?
Nope. That's it. No.
And so we got the total coming down from it opened at 223. It's down to 218 and a half. Any reason you think that, Jordan? Did you have any looks on the total on this one or the side? You think the Pistons gonna bounce back here, or do you think this 7 is too much?
I think, yeah, the 7's a lot. I think Detroit probably wins the game, but I wouldn't touch this size with a 10-foot pole. I think you're both absolutely right in that aspect. It's just there's no point in that. I do have a play on the total, though, and it's the first half. It has been coming down, but I'm actually going to go against the steam, which is something I rarely do, but I already locked this one in at 105.5, and that's the first half over. And I'm just talking about generally what I just talked about. Like, these 2 teams are going in the tank. Neither of them have any interest in playing defense. They're 2 of the worst defenses in the league. And even though the pace of this game is probably going to be played down somewhat, they have been playing a little bit faster. The 2 of them have in their last few games, especially in the first half, about a 101.5 average. So, I mean, if we're playing at that pace as opposed to about a 99 pace, which is probably what the game will be played at, and these 2 teams are just, basically olaying on defense, like, there's no chance that this isn't a good value here. I'm really surprised to see it go down. It started at 107, it's down to 106. I got it at 105.5 at my shop. So unless there's some injury that's going to come out later, which is obviously a little bit of a concern at this point, I still feel pretty good about it, especially if the pace is played up a little bit faster. I don't think there's any chance it goes under at that point. The only chance it's going to go under is if we see some random injury or 2 to one of the bigger offensive players here on the Cavs or the Pistons, and if the pace drops well below 100. I think if neither of those things happen, I think the first half total is a pretty good play on the over.
Yeah, I know. I be on the injuries. I keep real. You know what I'm saying? I get notification on my phone. I'll let. Honestly, and I'm looking right now, just double check. I don't understand why it's dropped 4.5, 5 points. Honestly, maybe somebody got some inside info. Maybe Love sitting out or something here, but honestly, I don't even care, man, to be honest with you. Let's get to the next game. We got the Magic versus the Heat here. Obviously, a much more intriguing game. I know when I was looking at this one this morning, it was Heat -4. I know I was telling all my guys, you know what I'm saying, make sure what's up with Nunn. And even though it's sitting at this 4 right now, got to make sure what's up, see what's up with Nunn, Dragic, and Butler. All 3 of them questionable in this spot. So you definitely need to know what's up before you put your money down. But earlier this morning, it was 4. It's been shot up to 6 now. So you could say that that's an indication that at least 2 of the 3 are going to be back. I know Nunn and Dragic both had Achilles and calf injuries. That's not something that you really want to rush back or, you know what I'm saying, rush it because, hey, you're the Achilles snap. You're going to be out for 1.5 years, man, possibly 2 years. But that before moving up to 6, I think that's somewhat of an indication that at least 2 out of 3 of them are playing. I mean, they did sit out the last game. They did, you know what I'm saying, take an L in their last game at the house. We know how the Heat are this year off of a loss. The Magic, they're 0-5 ATS last 5 when their opponent scores 100 more in the previous game, you know. So, I mean, I know it's just one of those little tricky stats, but it's definitely something worth note of. The Heat are 6-1 ATS last 7 games playing on 2 days rest, and they're 5-1 ATS last 6 home games versus a team with the road winning percentage of less than 400. So when they play these sorry road teams, man, which the Magic are, the Heat excel. They're coming off of loss. They've been really good off of loss. The Magic are 5-1 ATS the last 6 meetings in Miami, and 5-1 ATS last 6 meetings period. They've been playing the Heat very closely, but in this particular situation with them being on the road, I mean, the Magic, they hadn't been able to string together wins. I mean, they were playing the Clippers close there for a while, and then it just got away from them. Same thing with the Celtics, playing them close in the fourth quarter. Offense just is not as good to close out games, and I think that's going to hurt them here tonight versus the Heat. Long as if the Heat are even close to full strength, if they get Dragic, the none can sit, in my opinion. If they need Dragic and Butler out there, and they're going to smash the Magic tonight. What you got from me, Junior? I know you probably looking at a first quarter, a little Heat trifecta over there. I know you are. I already know you.
Yeah, I got action on this game, but I'm trying to stay true to my word. I said that if the Heat didn't hit that trifecta last week, that I would stay off them for a while, and then I'm gonna stick to that. But I do have action on this first half. I got the first half under 108. The reason I'm doing that is a couple of different things. First of all, we know Orlando. That's the obvious. They bring defense. They should bring it against this Miami team. But the second thing you already mentioned. All these guys are banged up. Nunn's banged up. Dragic is banged up. They didn't even play in the Heat's last game. Now Butler's banged up. Bam Adebayo, sorry, he's probable, but he's banged up because if he wasn't, he wouldn't be listed as probable. And on top of all of that, in the month of January, even though the Heat have been winning at home, these games have been a lot closer than they should be. And their pace has slowed down to a grinding halt. They're actually 28th in pace during the month of January at home. And that's especially true in the first half. So I just think all of those things play towards an under in the first half. Orlando's offense can struggle on any given night. They haven't been scoring points at all. They've been held to under 100 points total in 4 out of the last 5 games. Just a lot of things pointing me in the direction of the under. That's what I got on this one, guys. First half under 108.
Yeah, I was looking towards the full game under for this one as well. I know that the Magic are 27th in pace last 5 games, and the Heat are 28th. So neither one of them been pushing the pace. Obviously, the Heat are the much better offensive team, but the Magic, they just like to play the snail's pace and like to slow it down. What you got on this one? What you got on this one, Jordan? You gonna ride with them on the under there?
I might actually. That's not a bad play because if we do get negative news on 2 or more of these guys that are hurt for the Heat, that actually helps out a lot too because that's just a ton of offense that's questionable right now. Like you said, Jay, I think that I think Nunn sitting out and Dragic and Butler playing, it seems like the most likely scenario here. But obviously, we're not going to know for at least a little while until their shoot around is up, and then maybe not even until tonight if they're ruled as game time decisions. So the only thing that I think if 2 or more of those guys play, like if Dragic and Butler do play, I think I still am interested in the Heat first quarter. The Magic have been a very slow starting team on offense, especially on the road. I think they're only averaging about 100 to 101 points per 100 possessions in the first quarter of their road games. So 2 points on the Heat, like Junior always talks about, you're getting 1 possession against the team that's one of the best first quarter offenses in the league versus one of the worst. Even though the Magic and Heat both are going to bring the defense and slow the
this shit. But now, what was your play real quick that you was on?
Just baffled as you all.
What was your play that you was on? What was you on Heat first quarter?
Yeah. So I don't know where I cut off, but if some of those guys are basically if Dragic and Butler are ruled in, I think I might jump on the Heat first quarter just because the Magic have been one of the slow starting first quarter road teams in the league. They're only averaging about 100 to 101 points per 100 possessions during that stretch. So and the Heat obviously we talk about all the time their first quarter offense being one of the best in the league. So this is kind of where my thought process is on there if the Heat get most of their guys back tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, the Heat in that first quarter is a damn good look, in my opinion, man. Like I say, with the line movement, I think it is an indication that some guys coming back. Somebody got some info before we did. You know what I'm saying? It's all good though. But I definitely think that that first quarter. I mean, like you say, this is one of the best first quarter teams, highest scoring first quarter teams in the league versus one of the worst versus one of the. You know what I'm saying? So you can okay, I got you. But yeah. Like the Heat in this spot, man. We liking the Heat. Obviously, they need all their guys, but this could be definitely a Heat trifecta spot for sure, man. So what you let's see. Let's get to the next one, man. I know some injury news came out. This was my write-up today on the SBR column. And make sure you guys go over there to sbrvideo.com/NBA and get all of our write-ups. Me, Jordan, and Junior all have write-ups on there, and we say post parlays. We have an article on pretty much every game out there. So if you guys need some help with some picks, man, go over there to the SBR page, go to the picks tab in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And we got articles on there, man. But mine today was on the Spurs. I did write it at they was at favorites -2. Now, see, LaMarcus Aldridge then got announced out in this game, and they're moving it to 1.5. And honestly, I think that's too much. I'm not gonna say that LaMarcus Aldridge isn't worth 3 points or something like that, but to be moving the Spurs from a favorite to the Bulls being a favorite here in this particular spot, I think that, like, say if DeRozan was out also as well, I could definitely see it. But with just LaMarcus Aldridge, hey, I'll be happy with people going to go hop on the Bulls bandwagon. And I know that the Bulls have not been winning games back to back. The last 10 games been alternating win loss. They're 2-16 this year after a win. They do not handle. I don't know if they go to the strip club, go and party after, going have some drinks after they get a dub or what. But them boys do not win back to back games. Man, they're 2-16 this year after a win. They're 5-13 ATS after a win. Man, and that's a fade. I call it a fade spot. They are at the house here. It is somewhat of a tricky spot for the Spurs here. 6 game in 9 days. But the fact that they coming, and it's tough that they're coming off a back-to-back with travel. The Spurs, the Bulls are not. They're a much rested team, but the Spurs, I think that they overmatched this Bulls team. Like I say, their injury to Lauri Markkanen, I don't think a lot of people really understand what that does to this Bulls team that's already missing Wendell Carter Jr. and Gafford out there. And Gafford wasn't even a big deal. He was going to be the backup center. Oh, boom, he went down. Oh, okay, we get Luke Cornett and Lauri Markkanen step in. Now Markkanen is down. It's going to be tough sledding for them tonight versus Spurs team. If you look at the Spurs, they have a much more deeper team than this Bulls team, man, in my opinion. I think LaMarcus Aldridge go out tonight, and I'm not going to say that doesn't hurt. It definitely hurts, but I still think they're going to get this win tonight. People telling me, I think it's going to be the next game versus the Jazz. Bro, if you look, this is a damn near must win for the Spurs. So they're a half game back or a game back out and sitting in the 9th seed right now. It's not a must win. Still a lot more of the season to play, but you coming off 2 straight losses, you don't want to fall back too far. You want to stay in that playoff race. You know what I'm saying? That game back of the Grizzlies right now, if you lose this game, you're losing 3 straight, then you play the Jazz at the house. That's not a get right spot, in my opinion. You don't get right versus teams like the Jazz. You know what I'm saying? Not if you done lost 3 straight games, in my opinion. I think this is a Spurs spot. The line movement, in my opinion, cool. Everybody go and bet the Bulls. I still like the Spurs here. Now I'm getting even better line. Tell me that I'm tripping, Jordan.
No, I don't think you are at all. The only problem I have with the Spurs here is just their 3rd game in 4 nights, and they're coming off a back-to-back. So that's just a little concerning. Now you're telling me they're going to be without their starting big man and 18 to 20 points a game in LaMarcus Aldridge. So that's tough. I don't think it's insurmountable by any means, like you said, because the Bulls are just still missing basically their entire starting front court. Been missing Otto Porter for 2.5 months. Now they're down. They've been down Wendell Carter Jr. for the last 3.5 weeks, and now Markkanen's down for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So this is a very battered Bulls front court, and they don't have a whole lot in that aspect. And I think the play that I got on this one earlier, and it may still be good, I don't know. It's just been steaming downward, but I grabbed the under at 216.5 this morning before the Aldridge news came out. Just noticed that the steam it had been hitting it hard. It was down at 215.5 across the board on most markets, and my book still sitting at 216.5. I just took it for a unit. I said, okay, fine. You're going to give me that price? That's a discount. Now you're telling me the Marcus Aldridge is out. So I think the under is actually a little bit better of a play, just because now you got Pirtle coming into the game, probably starting for the Spurs. He's much more of a defensive-minded center, shot blocker, clogging the paint type of guy, especially with the Bulls not having anybody in the front court tonight. He may dominate tonight on the defensive glass. So if you're telling me both these teams are going to be jump shooting teams, Bulls already very good defensively on the wing. Spurs are pretty good in that aspect too, even though they will be a little bit tired today. I think the under is absolutely the play here. Now I'm a little weary now that it's going down. It's at 213.5 at pennies right now. That's tough. Now you're basically looking at where the line's probably going to settle after all this news and stuff, compared to 3.5 or 3 points where I got it. But if you got it earlier, good job, because I think it's definitely the play here.
Yeah, and honestly, I saw that go down before. I know it was sitting at 214.5 even before he was announced out. People were liking that under. That under was getting
Yeah.
steam this morning. I mean, I had the page up all day. Seeing it move now to 213 at some spots. Some spots still hanging the 214 in that game. So I know it was 214.5 before. It was getting pounded before he was ruled out. But you look at they got Trey Lyles still got Jakob Pertl. Then so the whole thing, and it didn't matter about LaMarcus Aldridge being out. It really doesn't. What matters in this game is the Spurs stopping Zach LaVine, and that's really the only thing that it comes down to. It doesn't matter, and I know they could get tired in the second half, and I did take the Spurs in the first half in this one as well, and I can't say that's probably a little bit better, more better of a look for them since it is that, you know what I'm saying, bad of a spot, but I still think that this is a winnable game for them. I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna shut down Zach LaVine, in which he could have a big game tonight. Obviously playing for Kobe, but DeMar DeRozan is playing as well. They coming off a tough loss. I mean, that was a comeback when they showed some fight there versus the Raptors. They could have got smacked by 30 points yesterday. They came all the way back and damn near took the lead. I'm watching the game like, damn, the Raptors finna lose it. But obviously they were a better team. They showed it there down the stretch. But the Spurs, in my opinion, they're just a much better team than the Bulls. They are catching them in a vulnerable spot, but if Zach LaVine has an off night or doesn't go for 30 plus tonight, it's gonna be tough trading for the Bulls. That's the only thing I have to say. That is Young into the start lineup. Okay, now you got to have Felicio coming off the bench. I mean, you got one center coming, one big man, period, coming off the bench. In my opinion, man, it's gonna be tough tonight for the Bulls. Just LaMarcus Aldridge is not enough to get me off the Spurs in this particular spot. What you got, Junior?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the spot for the Spurs, but it would have to be Spurs or nothing just because they're the better team. Chicago doesn't really have much to offer right now. Not only could the Spurs possibly cancel out Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan could cancel him out just points-wise because DeMar DeRozan could go off at any point. You guys obviously saw yesterday he's taking the Kobe news hard. He's an L.A. kid, Compton kid, knows Kobe personally, worked out with Kobe. So just as whatever motivation Zach LaVine has, DeMar DeRozan has all of that and more. And just to be honest with you, if you look at San Antonio's schedule, like they're about to go, so they come back home against Utah, which is an absolutely not a get-right spot for anybody in the NBA right now. I don't care if they're at home or not. Then they got, I think, Charlotte, but then they go on an 8-game road trip. So Jay just mentioned they're trying to get into that 8 spot. If you're about to go on an 8-game road trip, it's in your best interest, obviously, to beat the teams that are inferior to you. And in their next 3 games, they play the Bulls, they play the Jazz, and they play the Hornets. So we can obviously see which games are going to matter to them and which games they're going to have to go to take care of business in. And, if you can get points with them in that spot, I love that. But I have no play on this game, though. That would just be the way I would be leaning.
Exactly. And that's the only thing I mean by must-win spot. They're facing a team that they're superior. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're a much better team. Even though they only have 2 more wins than the Bulls, they are the much better team. You can't – oh, shit. So
Yeah.
Harden is questionable now. He's probably going to play, but Capella is now he's downgraded to questionable. So Capella is doubtful now. And Harden, he probably going to suit up. He's upgraded to questionable just with a thigh injury. They don't have nobody. He got to play today, bro. But Capella out is damn near the same. But the only thing I'll say about this one, Spurs, in my opinion, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to win these type of games. Spot or not, you got to dig deep. We know DeMar DeRozan is a little bit fragile there in the mind, so hopefully he doesn't come out and have a dud. But I mean, both him and LaVine are both motivated. But like I say, DeRozan has went through that part where it's like where he was damn near. He don't know what's up there in the head. You know what I'm saying? He went through depression and stuff like that. So hope he's not too depressed today. That'll definitely show. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Didn't expect Archer to be out, but it's all good. I still think I'll get it. So another one, man. We finna talk about the Kings and the Timberwolves real quick. I don't have a lot on it. Did trip me out that the Kings are underdogs here. I can't believe that the Timberwolves are laying points. I can't say. I mean, sometimes you kind of look at it like, oh, okay, boom, they're laying points for a reason. This particular spot, I can't bet the Timberwolves here, man. They are absolute no bet. I mean, they even in spots where they catch a team in the bad spot and they're at the house like the last game, and you still can't get the dub. The Kings, though, they're not bettable either. I can't say force free bet. Call me crazy. Free bet. I'd be on the Wolves. My own money, I'm not on it. The Kings 0-5 ATS, the last 5 games playing on 2 days rest. 1-5-1 ATS last 7 overall, 1-5 last 6 playing that out following the ATS win. They're the team that just got their first win in 7-8 games. The Timberwolves still searching for theirs. So obviously the Timberwolves at the house, they're the more desperate team. Probably have the more, I ain't gonna say complete team right now, because the Kings, the Kings just, they don't have no coach, bro, and I couldn't bet them with confidence. I just couldn't, especially on the road here. This is a really a shit bowl to me. But hey, my guys could have a play on it, so I gotta ask him about it. We only got 6 games on the day on the card today, so got to talk about all of them. What anything do you have on this one, Jordan? Anything you would be leaning towards or on the total in this spot?
This is one of those other games that I was speaking about earlier in regards to Cleveland and Detroit that is just absolutely untouchable on the sides. I think you're probably crazy if you're taking or laying 3 points in this game, to be honest. It's just it means nothing to me in that aspect. And it is another one of those games that could just be extremely high scoring because neither one of these teams plays defense, and both are actually looking pretty good on offense lately because they've been getting healthy. Obviously, Sacramento's still without their 2 big men. So like you said, free play. If I had a free play, it'd probably be on the over. Just another one of those games. It is ticking upward a little bit from 225 and a hook to 226 now. So I may chase that a little bit, but yeah, it's probably one I'm just going to end up laying off of. It has very little value. It's probably the worst game of the night. And to take a page from Junior's book, just get this game out of my face.
Exactly. Yeah, the Timberwolves already beat them in Sacramento December 26th, day after Christmas. Shit, that might be the Minnesota last win on the cool. I ain't gonna even go back and look because I don't care that much, but they did beat the Kings already this year. That was when the Kings were a little bit more healthy, in my opinion. But Carlton Towns has been balling these last 3 games. I can't say if he keeps bringing it like that, man. They could have an opportunity to win here, but I don't force bets in this type of game. I wouldn't be surprised that, like, if I lost, I'd be like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even be surprised. No, it's not my money. What you got, Junior? It's just if you had any lean on it, if you was forced to take a side, Junior, which one? If I gave you $100 free bet, free play, what you got?
I would take Minnesota. The line is short enough that if it was a free play, that's who I would take. For the simple fact that even though they looked horrible, so do the Kings. And the Kings are down 2 big men, which if you're looking to play anything, what's up with that Karl Anthony Towns prop? Because that might be worth a look. They have no Rashad Holmes, no Bagley. Who's going to guard him? Bielitsa? It could get ugly.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, if Dedmon gets into foul trouble, they're going to be in for a long night.
Yeah, I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I don't know what his prop is, but it could be worth a look.
Yeah, and one last thing, man. And it's tough. This is the Kings' last game of their 5-game road trip. Everything here says fade to Kings, man. No Holmes. They don't have any size. The thing is, the Timberwolves, like I say, man, even in these particular spots where they catch another team in bad spot, all this supposed to point to them. And the Timberwolves got bet up to 3.5. So look, they sitting at 3.5 at Bovada minus the 115. I know I saw a 3.5 somewhere, 3 everywhere else. Somebody putting money. Somebody is confident in these Timberwolves today. And I can't say, especially with it being the last game of 5-game road trip, the Kings coming off their win versus Chicago. It probably is a Timberwolves spot. Just me saying that doesn't mean that I'm betting the Timberwolves, but it is a Timberwolves spot. But they got to show that they've had spots before and they still didn't cash. Let's get to the next game, man. Bigger game. We got 2 games left. Talk about them. We got the Mavs and OKC here, man. Mavs, and it's open at 2 and it's down to 1 now. And it is a bit interesting because the Mavs were getting all the money. They were getting all the money, and I knew that people were gonna come back on OKC. The Sharps gonna hop on OKC here. They've been cashing shit out of these tickets. Look like one of the most undervalued teams in the league right now. Are you looking towards OKC in this spot, Junior? Are you taking OKC here, or did you have a play on this game, period? Mavs versus OKC.
Yeah, I've been cashing on OKC a lot, so I took them again here. It's a really great price considering how they're playing, especially at home. I think this is a 50-50 game, so if I can take points in a 50-50 situation, I thought about taking them on the money line. But I'd rather just take the points just to show the Mavs a little bit of respect because I think it could probably be a one-possession game at the end. But, I hate to pass up a sale. Oklahoma City's a team that's been winning, and you're getting to take points at home with them. I'm all over that.
Yeah, and it's another one, man. It's like I understand that the markets are disrespecting them, and it's almost like are they trying to tell you something? Y'all know I'm a homer, but I don't always bet homer picks. But I can tell you something though that the Mavs and it's tough to force it some on this one because obviously, honestly, don't get it twisted. You cap all you want. This game is a 50-50. If you cap it, all the numbers are going to say take OKC here in this spot. You see that they're not favored here. You know that the Mavs are a really good team off a loss. So you look at the game versus Jazz. They almost went into Utah and beat the just damn near the best team in the NBA right now. I don't care who you like, Clippers, Lakers, whoever. The Jazz are playing the best basketball in the league right now by far. And the Mavs almost went into their house and beat them. And that shows me something, man. It does. They got Willie Cauley-Stein is probably now he hadn't practiced with the team yet, but they could throw him out there tonight. In my opinion, I wouldn't. He doesn't really, know the plays. Noel is probably gonna be out here with a facial fracture. I know he thought he was questionable. I can't see him playing. You just fucking broke your damn jaw or something, man. But he's questionable. He could possibly play. Adams came back the last game. Especially with this being a revenge spot, it's just me, man. I'm not telling all you guys to go out there and take them. Obviously, I want the Mavs to win. They off 2 straight losses. They've been a good team this year off a loss. This is a revenge spot as well. We already lost to OKC 106-101, and I think we're gonna get them back tonight, man. So it's just me. It's a small play, nothing major, but this is really me hoping that what I'm saying, that like I said, you never bet with your heart, but I do think this is a spot. They beat the Portland before that. They coming off just one loss to the Jazz. But still, in my opinion, that was a damn good loss. I had the Jazz -4 there, and I'm telling you, I was sweating the whole game down to the last foul. They got me barely that covered. You know what I'm saying? So the Mavs played a really good game, and then, man, if you could play like that in Utah and damn near beat them boys playing. I mean, like, they got Porzingis back at full strength. Them boys playing right now, man. I like the Mavs here. I understand if everybody likes OKC. I understand, man. I hope you cash. Well, not really. I can't say that. But good luck on your play. What you got? What you got for me, Jordan? Anything on this OKC Mavs play?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna break the tie here. I gotta agree with Jay here. I think it's Mavs, the Mavs here. I understand the sentiment of liking OKC at home here for sure, but if Noel's down. And you're talking about you're still without Terrence Ferguson in the starting lineup, who's probably arguably their best defender, and Abdel Nader, who's one of their better defenders coming off the bench. Like, we already know this OKC team has been trending downward on defensively basically for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe even longer than that in certain spots. It just hasn't really showed in the stats. But I could really the only thing that's going to save them tonight is defense. And if Noel's out anchoring that second unit, and you got like Jay said, Willie Cauley-Stein, he may only play 9-15 minutes, but he could still run pick and roll. He can still rebound. He doesn't need to know the plays to go out there and foul somebody hard, and prevent him from getting a dunk or something like that. Like, he could still make an imprint on this game, especially if Noel's not out there to check him on the second unit. Like, there's just little things here and there that just keep making me lean more towards the Mavs here. And offensively, I think they're still going to be the better team here as well. So if they shore up their defense a little bit tonight on the road and OKC doesn't bring their A game defensively, I do think the Mavs could win this one. I don't know if I'm going to make a play on it yet. I'm close, but I might lean towards a couple other avenues in betting the Mavs tonight, not just the spread outright. But they definitely where I'm leaning right now.
Exactly. And yeah, like I said, man, OKC has been really good, but I mean, we already broke it down. I'm on the Mavs. I like the Mavs. I understand that money's coming in on OKC. They could close the favor here. I understand why people like them. I really do. I just, like I say, if the Mavs bring that same intensity they did versus Jazz, and it's tough to do that back to back, but they want this one. This is damn near a rivalry game right there. You know what I'm saying? Not long. It's what OKC is two hours away from me, man. So I think the Mavs gonna come to play, bring that same energy they did versus Jazz. They're going to get the dub tonight. Last game, real quick, got to say something about it. Jazz versus the Rockets. I think it's a terrible spot for Rockets. This bounce back-to-back in altitude. Y'all know what's up. I can't say I didn't expect to see the Jazz open up this high. I had them winning this game by 13 points, but you're getting a little closer call there, and the line is going to do something else with Harden here being questionable. So it's still at 12.5 now, up to 13 at Bookmaker. But with Harden, when he gets ruled in, you're going to see it move down some. But Capella being out, that's just as tough. Westbrook out for sure. I still think the Jazz going to smash them, and I think it's an under spot as well. Back-to-back game for the Rockets in high altitude. I think it's an under spot. I think the Jazz going to smash them. It's tough for me to lay that 12.5 when I only think that when my numbers only have them winning by 13. Any quick thoughts on this game, Junior, and break them off with your official plays of the day, my guy?
I haven't made a play on this yet. I think that first quarter line, even at -4.5, man, them 4.5 quarter bets, that's tough, bro. I might get involved in that -7 though. I didn't make it an official play because I was kind of waiting for the news to see who's going to play, who's not, and there's still news trickling in, so I'm just going to wait to see when these lines are finalized. So that's my look on that. In terms of my official plays, I got 2 of them. First half under 108, Heat Magic, and I'm taking that price on OKC +2 at home. You know, they're 8-4 in January, but they've been playing well. I know the Mavericks can win the game, but in a 50-50 situation, I'm okay with taking points with the home team.
I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But honestly, I think it's a 50-50 game. I think it could go either way. You got two really good teams. I'm just hoping my team comes out on top. What you got for me? Jordan? Recap your plays for me. And you have any play on that Rockets and Jazz game? Do you think that Capella hurts the under in that particular spot?
I don't. It's tough to say, but yeah, probably at least a little bit. Now they're going to be forced to play Hartenstein and Tyson Chandler a lot, and it's just they're not bad. Hartenstein's more of an offensive center than he is a defensive center, but yeah, I think that hurts a little bit, but not enough to kill you. I think what really is going to make or break it is if Harden plays and comes out and is actually healthy and ready to go. But yeah, so I don't have a play on this game. I did write it up for SBR, but now that Harden's questionable, I was assuming Harden was out. I was laying the 6.5 with Utah. It's up to 7 now, like in the first half is what Junior said, but I'm really gonna wait to see what Harden's status is before I lock that in one way or the other here. I'm hoping he's out so I can go ahead and get that first half price, but I still haven't made a play on that one just yet. The only 2 official plays I got so far: Cleveland, Detroit over 105.5 first half. And I got the under in Spurs and Bulls under 216.5, but that one steamed down a lot. And I think depending on the news in Miami, it might jump on them in the first quarter too. That might be the other one I'm gonna get on today.
I got you. Yeah, Miami in the first quarter is a real solid look there. They're very solid look, man. My official plays did take the Spurs -2 on the write up, but hey, it's +1.5 now. I still think the Spurs gonna win this game. It'll be interesting to see, man. Nothing's guaranteed, but I like the Spurs, and I like the Mavs today, man. Those are my 2 plays, and I did take Oklahoma State in college basketball as well, man. I did get them at the 8 though, so it's getting steamed down over 6.5, 7 in some spots. Wouldn't argue with a 3-team parlay with those as well. Wouldn't argue one bit. Y'all know what's up, man. Rest in peace to my guy Mamba and his daughter. And we got to get some cash today. Leche, Alo's bookmakers. Mamba mentality.